Whew, y'all, it has been a couple of days. It has been a little bit rough the past few days, and I just want to be honest in this video and talk about exactly how things have been going and show that things aren't always perfect. And while I feel like 80% of the time things aren't challenging, they're pretty easy and straightforward and just a great time, there's that small percentage of time where things just, it's weird. You get on this energy that it's not necessarily bad, but it just, you get on this wave of just things happening that aren't so great, and you're just not, I'm not super enthused about it.
Hey everyone, I'm Louie and this is my Pity William. We live full-time in my self-converted vintage Aerostar and are traveling the world, well, currently only the US. For the next few months, we will be living, working, and exploring in the southern United States, hoping to debunk stereotypes, learn some history, and eat some good southern food. Oh, and did I mention my mom and her pup are also along for the ride? Thanks for watching and subscribe to find out where we end up each week. And a special thank you to all my patrons and an extra thank you to my patrons who pledged in the Better Recognized tier and up.
I wanted to share this video and just kind of give y'all a glimpse into what some days are like when things are really challenging. Yesterday I woke up and I was not feeling so great. I think that because we are in between campsites right now, we're waiting to go to our next reservation at this free campsite you have to make reservations for. We didn't want to be in the forest this weekend because there's a lot of hunting going on, so we just opted to stay in the city. And so I was feeling really just out of it yesterday. It's another day in the van. We are in between campsites that we made reservations for. It's these free campsites that you can go to in this county, and you have to reserve them before you get there because they have days that are hunting days and days that they're doing maintenance and stuff. So, and there's a whole code and everything to get into the gates and stuff. So we're in between those right now. It's currently a hunting weekend and we don't want to be at a campground when it's hunting time. So we're here at, what do you know, a Cracker Barrel. It's our favorite place to park in a city because we know we can be here and we know that it's gonna be safe. And this one's not so quiet. I slept okay last night, but it's generally they're pretty quiet and safe, and that's wonderful. But yeah, I'd say these are the times that I don't enjoy the most because we have to be in a city. But you know, you have to make the best of it. You have to run errands, do things, do adult things. So being in a city is a little hard sometimes. And then yesterday, because my van has been acting up a bit, which has kind of been something that's been on my mind a lot because my van is approaching 200,000 miles and this thing is a rough everyday driver, and I don't always take the best care of it. I forget to do oil changes, and I choose to forgo changing out oils and stuff sometimes, so that's my bad. Yeah, so yesterday I had to take the van to get a tune-up. I needed to get a serpentine belt changed. The whole belt was cracked. I needed to get my spark plugs changed because over time they fail and then it makes it harder for your van to accelerate and all of that. But here's the footage of our experience at Jiffy Lube yesterday. We are at the Jiffy Lube and they're putting in some of the engine cleaner into my van, so that's good. Engine cleaner. William. They're always so freaking friendly at Jiffy Lube. Every Jiffy Lube I've ever been to, the people have been so nice. This is why I don't change it myself, because this is convenient, don't have to dump the oil, and the people are nice. They got you service. They got mine. So we're still here at the Jiffy Lube, and yeah, I am $1,400 deep now into getting some things changed, like my spark plugs, which explains why my van wasn't starting in cold weather, and getting a serpentine belt that was cracked changed, and all of the oils changed, and windshield wipers, like pretty much everything I need to make it up to Maine in the next few months safely. So it's a lot of money, but it's definitely worth it. And we're just sitting out here. Guys, check out how big that already is. Holy crap. Man, I'd have parties in that thing. Woo-wee, what a relief. We got the van back and it came in $250 cheaper than I thought it was going to be. It ended up being $12.34, which I know sounds like a lot, but it really needed to be done. I needed the spark plugs changed, I needed the serpentine belt changed, I needed radiator fluid changed or drained. I think that's what that is. And my oil changed, the engine, just everything that I needed to get done so bad. Like, this is gonna help me get up to Maine and safely and with efficiency, with good gas miles per gallon, so that's great. It's been a long day, huh, Whelp? Ready to go to Trader Joe's?
I'm ready.
I'm ready for some snacks. Okay. So it ended up being so much money, and thankfully I'm so thankful that I had the money to fix it. And I do want to say that if you do end up buying an older van and converting it, that's something you're going to have to deal with. While it is going to be a lot cheaper than anything newer, you're going to have to make sure you put some money aside to potentially fix the van and get maintenance done on it and everything that you need to keep the van up and running, because it is your home. It's definitely worth it. It's just, yeah, it's just expensive, and you don't always expect a nice big bill to be showing up, and I'm just grateful at the end of the day that I don't have to pay rent. But nonetheless, that was something that kind of brought me down. The way I try to think about money is in abundance, and that like you spend money and you'll get 3 times more of that back. It's just money at the end of the day. Like, money is money. It's a tool, and manage it well, use it for good. Don't be like, save, but don't hoard. Like, if you need to spend money, you need to spend money, and that's fine. But it's definitely not fun to have to spend over $1,000 on getting stuff done in your van. But my van is back in a place where I feel very comfortable, and the goal is to drive it all the way to Maine and then decide what I'm going to do next in terms of a vehicle, and see how long this van runs. And before having to put in a ridiculous amount of money in and put a new transmission and all of that, because then I wouldn't feel that's worth it. It's a little uncomfortable, the uncertainty of like, what am I going to do next if this van it decides to fail on me, or if I need to change the transmission. So there are options, and we'll talk about those another day, but there are lots of things on the horizon, thankfully. So there's always a silver lining to everything. So now we are at the beach. We're gonna take the dogs on a walk, and yeah, we are at this beach called Honeymoon State Park. It's $4 to get in, but it's actually really worth it because you get to go on a special dog beach, because there seems to be that most beaches in Florida don't allow dogs during like the middle part of the day. So we decided to take the dogs to the state park where there's a dog beach, and there's like little wash off stations, which I think I'm gonna give William a little bath here. And yeah. And then on top of everything, it's just been really rainy, and my power has been really, it's just been really rainy and cloudy, and so I'm not getting a lot of solar power, and it's just making things a lot more difficult. Like, I can't run my water pump like I normally do, or charge my batteries for all of my camera gear and everything, and edit. So yeah, I may sound like I'm complaining, but this is the freaking truth of this. Like, you guys may see tons of videos of us having a great time, and those times were true and authentic. It's definitely not faking it. Like, those were some really good times. But then there are days like this where you don't want to have to record and put stuff on YouTube and like share your really emotional, vulnerable side. But
I think it's important to further the narrative and make it honest, is that, yeah, there are days like yesterday and there are days like today where you're just feeling down and out, and there's just like so much negative energy and all of that. And then on top of that, I was fixing my electrical in the back of the van, and I was kind of in a vulnerable position because I was like, we were at a Cracker Barrel, and I was like, I'm just gonna fix this now just so that it can start charging now, because I think that some things came loose when I was driving down a dirt road a couple days ago. So I decided to go back there and make sure everything was good. And I was like bent over with my head inside a little hole. And then there was another van that slept there. And like normally when there are other van people around, and I'll be super friendly and like talk to people and stuff. But I was just not having it. 1, I'm grumpy. 2, I'm PMSing. 3, I was busy, and this guy comes up and I didn't see where he came from, so it took me a second to realize he was the guy that was in the van that was next to us, and he just like says, well, hello there, and I'm just like, with my head inside the little hole where all my electrical is, working on stuff. I just look out there and I'm like, hello, and then I just like ignore him because, anyways, there's some footage of right after that happened. I'll insert that here. So we're still parked where we slept last night, and I just went outside of the van to fix something with my electrical system, and it came loose, so I decided to go back there and fix it. What do you know, there's some man standing like to the right of me, and he's just like, oh, I don't even know what he said, but it's just like, why can't I just fix my electrical system without being harassed? Like, why is that such a big deal? Like, I get maybe you're trying to say hi, but obviously I'm busy. So it's like weird. I don't know. It just makes you feel super uncomfortable when you're like in a super vulnerable position, like working on something, and I'm like bent over, like trying to fix stuff, and then you just come up and start talking to me. Like, I don't think that, maybe it's that just some men don't understand that like that can be a little off-putting and kind of scary as a woman. Like, my mom was in her van, and I'm out there working, so I was just like, hello, and then I just ignored him because I didn't have time to deal with that. I was obviously busy. Like, I'm not gonna stop everything I'm doing to talk to you. You're a stranger. Like, it's creepy. Like, don't just come up on a person who's working on something. So it's been a struggle of a couple days, and yeah, to say the least, it's been a challenge the past few days. I would like to get back out to the forest, so tomorrow's the day to do that. So just if people would just leave me alone. Like, it's a pandemic, sir. Stand back. Sorry if you're a man watching this, but I just feel like men always think that you want to talk to them. Like, I don't have time to talk to you right now. Please leave me alone. So yeah, it's like once you get down this road of just like negative energy and like feeling really just mad at the world, it's really hard to like pull myself out of it. And I know that it's fine. Like, everything's gonna be fine, and that it's just a moment in time where things aren't going perfectly, and this too will pass, or this too shall pass, or whatever people say. So yeah, we're gonna take the dogs on a walk, eat some food, and then we're going to head to a really cool place. It's the capital of the world, apparently, of natural sponges. Yeah, I hope that me just being honest with you guys and telling you about the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, everything is helpful to you. I think that it's really important for people, and like other people of color and women of color, to like, for us to see each other living this lifestyle and like share it, because I think that it just feels so good when, like, for example, I'll post something on Instagram and like a frustration, and then I'll get like 10 messages of other people saying like, that happens to me too all the time, and it's frustrating and all of that, and then we like give each other advice and like bring each other up, and I really, really appreciate that. So van life, road life, whatever you want to call it, nomadic living, vagabond living, whatever you want to call it, it's often portrayed as something that is 100% of the time fun and happy and great, but it's not.
And yeah, I think it's a matter of perspective at the end of the day. Like, yeah, maybe 20% of the time things are challenging, but then the other 80% of the time things are just friggin' wonderful and great. So you give some to get some. Y'all know what I mean. So yeah, hopefully the rest of this video is gonna be way more upbeat and exciting, but I just wanted to share my feelings with you. Wanted to share my feelings with the world. All right, bye. Made it to a dog beach.
Yay!
That's for cleaning your dog. This will be a nice mood picker-upper. So pretty here. Loves waves.
Is it cold?
It feels kind of good.
Yeah.
It's good memory.
William!
William! Oh my god! What a weird. Oh no, she's gonna bark. She doesn't like it.
You don't like this, I know, but we gotta get your feet clean. I just feel really frustrated right now. Like, I just want to cry, but I'm also PMSing.
Yeah.
Like, people are just so rude. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they don't ever think about other people. Like, I was over there trying to wash off my feet in Williams, and I was obviously like standing there doing stuff, and then like this whole group of people just walk up, and then they let their dog lunge at William, so then William lunges, and then my camera falls over, and like, I know it's just like I'm being like ultra sensitive right now, but it's just like
It adds up.
it adds up over
It adds
time
up.
because
Yeah.
like people are just so rude, and then like there
It's
are rules for
exhausting.
it's exhausting
When
it's
you're
like,
on the road especially, and you don't have the protection of being able to go into your home and, you know,
Yeah,
like a brick and
and-
mortar home and like escape from people, we have to be, unfortunately, we have to interact
always be
with
around people
all the time.
and it's it's just getting to me today.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
It's
I'm so
annoying.
annoyed by like, yeah, people don't leash their dogs, then we have to deal with their dogs, and then people like, it's like,
Get in
I
your
want to use
space, and it's
I want to
just-
use
yeah.
these spaces too. Like, why is it like nobody ever like thinks about like other people? Like, people are so selfish here. They're so selfish in this part of Florida. We're noticing like people.
Yeah. They run their generators.
They run our
all day
generators
long.
all day long, all night long. People walk up to you, creepy men walk up to you.
Yeah, it's pretty irritating.
And it's like, it gets to a point where like, you get so annoyed and then you like break down like this, where you just like don't want to do anything.
Yeah, but we have to not let that
I know.
take us over. But it's exhausting.
It's really exhausting.
And this is the life of, I don't know, just the world we're in now. People
just don't
think,
care about other people.
Of course, there are many, many people who do.
Yeah.
But in our lifestyle, we come across so many people who don't. So then it seems
Yeah.
like everybody is like that, because it's just,
People are just so selfish.
yeah, and they just take up space.
They don't
And-
say like hi, like the way I would have imagined that interaction going, it could have been like, hey, are you using this? And I could be like, yes, and then we could say like, okay, then we'll wait until you're done.
especially since you have a big dog.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we'll wait our turn, and plus 6 feet. Like, I would like to maintain 6 feet. Like, we're not wearing masks or anything. So, and then they just moved their
Took it
way
over.
in, took
They
it over.
basically- yeah.
They pushed me out, and I had to come and stand between the vans and wait until they were done.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's not that big of a deal, obviously, but it's just annoying.
It's another example of being pushed out, experiencing being pushed out of
a space
where we have every right to be in. And in that case, rather than having conflict, you chose to
just back off.
And that's always the winning way to be. Because even though, we have to find a way to, manage our feelings from that, and our reacting that way, that is always the way to go.
And when I get angry, I cry. I don't,
it's not worth.
I don't yell or, any of that. Usually I just...
People like that
cry.
People like that are not worth the
energy.
External
and then
conflict,
they could feel
too.
that I was angry, though.
Well, yeah, and that's why they went so quickly. We were both standing here staring at them are you kidding me?
Yeah,
really?
That's so rude.
Yeah. But the thing is I'll bet that won't change their behavior in the future.
They won't think about others.
And the thing is I would rather not have, physical confrontation.
No, because that's traumatic, too.
Yeah, and it's not worth it. Because first, we'd be the ones getting arrested.
Yeah, of course.
And our dogs would be the ones being put down.
Yeah.
But it's just not worth it.
Not.
And it's a lesson in growth. We just have to continue to be able to let it just flow off of us. And it's not easy, but I feel like for me, I'm doing a better job at that because I'm you know what, those people are just selfish a-holes.
Yeah, and at least
it affects us.
It obviously affects us, but at least we know at the end of the day we're good people.
Exactly.
And we're paying attention to what people do around us, and we're taking up our space, but then also giving space in places. This is a public space.
Yeah. And it makes me be more aware of my behavior.
Mm-hmm.
How am I treating others? Am I being, respectful? Or which We
always are. Because we travel and we move around so much. Like, I don't want to be an asshole in other people's communities. I don't want to be, rude and, like, I don't know, trash places that are meant for everyone. Like, that's frustrating.
And this is why we spend most of our time.
It's good to cry, though.
Yeah, you gotta let it out. You gotta feel it so that you
this
can
is why I
just
like
move on,
being in nature, because we're like backcountry, like away from people. Like, that is one of the main reasons why I like that. And why I seek that out so much. I mean,
unfortunately,
besides the fact that it's beautiful, but
unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to find, especially with more and more people spending time outside. Mm-hmm. It's like places where you go. Well, I mean, and we're not familiar with this area, but even when we were in the places where we were familiar, there are just people everywhere all the time. So it's like you kind of have to go deep into nature to get away from people, and it's.
You have to take deep breaths.
I think we need to move to Alaska.
All I know is, like, I gotta get a 4x4 soon.
This is why people do move to Alaska.
Because I just can't.
They're just like, I would rather fight polar bears than be around people.
That's how I feel right now.
Seriously. I know. Let's get some food and then we'll feel better.
Food. I'll feel better in a second. I needed to let that out, though.
It also doesn't help that part of van life struggle is, like, we haven't had power for
a couple days because it's been so cloudy.
We have to work and charge our things, and
take care of the dogs and feed ourselves.
It's a lot, and it's and so you can only take but so much before
this is a breakdown moment.
Yeah, where you just have to cry, and then once you cry, you feel better, and then you can fill your cup right back up again. Yeah,
I'm lucky I have you at least. Because if I was by myself and this was happening, I would just sit down. Like, I would just let that bother me all day long. And, like, probably,
And the thing is,
it can't be happy all the time.
No, and it's okay. I mean, we're human beings, so of course we're affected by other people's behavior. And when people are being selfish and rude, that affects us. And the thing is,
and it's like it compounds over time. It's like not like normally that would really bother me. I would just be like, okay, well, instead of just being annoyed, I'm just gonna move over here and just wait my turn until I can have all the space. Yeah. And, like, that'd be fine, but
it just happens so consistently.
So many things have happened in the past 2 days where it's just
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating, and then on top of it, having to get my van fixed and like, or getting my van tuned up and all of that, and then just van problems. It's a lot. And then like trying to make videos all the time, and
It's a lot. Like,
dealing with people on social media who are rude to me, and like all of that. It just it compounds. They're all very little things.
Yeah.
But over time, it really just. I think we should eat some food and
we'll feel better.
Feel better. Oh, but I do need to get that out of my system.
You are my cheerleader.
We got some barbecue meatless meatballs with some pepper and ladies, some pepper and this delicious carrot ginger dressing. This one, miso ginger from Trader Joe's, and some arugula, my favorite, and cucumber.
And note to self, eat arugula the same day.
Our last bag of arugula went bad, so that was not the best.
And that's very traumatic for us.
I gotta make sure to not put this so close to my mouth. Hello everybody, and welcome to Tarpon Springs, Florida. Tarpon Springs, Florida is home to the world's largest natural sponge industry, and it is also home to the largest population of Greek Americans. The natural sponge industry began here in the early 1900s and made its way for a couple of decades until it was environmentally unsound to harvest the sponges. It wasn't until the 1970s until people were able to begin to harvest these sponges all over again, and thus creating a booming tourism sector here in Florida. Now you can buy lots of yummy Greek food, natural sponges, and take tours on some of these boats yourself. So you may be wondering if it's environmentally sound to be harvesting these sponges, and the fact is that when they harvest them, they're able to take them in a way that allows them to regenerate, and then what they do is they squeeze the sponges out before bringing them to the boat and allowing the spores to spread through the water. And the tradition of the sponge harvesting is now kept alive not only by men, but also by a few women who are keeping the tradition alive. So I think that's really awesome. So if you want to buy some natural sponges, you're probably getting them from this very spot.
They all have the same,
Yes.
Okay.
Look at those. You just break pieces off probably. Use them. Wow. So this was slightly unexpected, but I guess if you look on the map and you find little places, you could just like scroll around and put it on like the terrain mode or whatever on Google Maps.
I don't
and
even
then
know how we found this. I think we were.
I was just looking on the map and I found this.
Yeah.
You just gotta just explore on the map and you'll find stuff like this.
Yeah.
You got, it's a little overpriced, but
It is.
it's worth it.
It's worth it because when do you get authentic baklava?
She said we should share one of these. I don't think so. I'm about to eat one all to myself.
You're like, I'm not sure what
She said let's share. Okay. Well, that was a quick little fun adventure. I was like trying to find you.
Oh.
That was a quick fun little adventure, and yeah, we're gonna sign off the video. This video has been a roller coaster up and down, the roller coaster of van life.
Seriously.
So thanks for watching everyone. If you're new here, subscribe, click the like button, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace. Bye.